Some fresh tracks. Small deer though. It's promising. Here's another deer. Wonder where Mama is. Monday morning, day hunt 3. Third day of hunting. And I finally got into some deer this morning. 4 does and 3 fawns, maybe 4 fawns. And what do we got over here? There goes a bear. I was just getting into saying I'd seen some bear tracks. I was about to say I'd seen some bear tracks. And then out of the corner of my eye, there's a bear. I'll have to look at the footage again. That's crazy.
But anyway, that's not what I called y'all here to talk about. I would like to cover some serious issues at this point. Fishing shows. They're bullshit. Go outside and fish. How bored do you have to be to watch a freaking fishing show? I'm just jealous. Here's my problem. I've never caught a fish, and I don't know why they throw the dadgum thing back. Because if I ever catch one, I'm going to keep it. I don't care if it's this big. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to put it on the wall. I'm going to stick a battery in its ass. I'm going to make it sing down by the river. And then these guys are out every 8 hours throwing fish back. You never see a deer hunter shoot a deer and then freak out and give it CPR. Don't you die on me.
So this morning, I got some meat that needs to be cooked that's in the ice chest 5 days. So what I do is I cook it up, I store it in these little containers here with a clean towel. And this will give me another couple days that these can be consumed instead of them going bad. So I get them in these containers, close it up. Get a lid. And we're good to go. And then I'll do the same thing. Then I'll do the same thing with bacon.
Oh yeah.
Nothing so far today. We're at last light. I decided to do a little bit of filming. In our transition area over here. And through here, for some reason, they bed back in here. Come back. And I go feed. Down that way, I see tracks everywhere. Shit. In the past, I've seen deer in this area. This is probably about 500 yards from where I seen that bear. And just have to see what happens. I got a little bit of time left. Check it out. So I was on my way to the trailhead, and 40 yards off the side of the road. As I passed him, he looked like him. I thought it was probably a buck. So I pulled over up the road and got my bow out, knocked an arrow, backed the road back, and got to about 30 yards of a big old doe. But if it was a buck, I probably would have got a shot. So anyways, that was pretty cool though. I feel good about this evening. I know there's deer in the area, but I also know there's bear in the area. So we'll see what comes within 50 yards. How about that? You know, I've been saving that spot. It's a spot where two really good used game trails come together. Problem is, what I think is a problem, you know, it's only about maybe 100, 150 yards off the road. And, but I mean, the fresh tracks, and I was just hoping maybe I you know, I was saving it because, you know, later on in the hunt when I knew my ankle was going to start giving out, you know, I figured, well, later in the hunt maybe I can go ahead and take stands in there and take it easy. But nothing, not a dang thing. Well, looks like we might have some fresh beer. Looks like we might have some fresh beer shit on the road. Oh. Yeah. That's today. Still see the piss stain. Not seeing any cracks though. Couple of smudges. The little prints. It's down at the end of this. So I'm gonna post up for the evening. So it looks like we might have some bear action. Been day whatever. The SpaghettiOs don't hurt no more. Well, today is day 12, I believe, 11 or 12. And haven't been doing a lot of videotaping. I've been doing morning hunts and I've been doing evening hunts. I've been consistently seeing does. You probably already seen the black bear footage. That black bear come running up behind me. I'm dealing with physical limitations right now, so I'm not necessarily road hunting. But I am going into places. I'll park the van. I'll go walk in 100 yards and I'll sit down. And maybe, a couple 100 yards at the most. And it's been, I've been seeing deer that way. I keep waiting for a buck to come by. I have yet to get one with a deer with a compound bow. And to tell you the truth, I don't care if it's got milk on its lips. In fact, I could use a glass of milk right now. But I'm telling you, if it's got a fork, it's going down. And so far, but I'm having a great time. I like D-5. I like the Crystal Basin. Hunting outside of it, there's just a lot of area in D-5 that is accessible. But to really get a good buck and to get to where the deer are, you got to get onto these over to the wilderness areas, or get back at least a ridge line over from any road. You got to get back in there. Best way to hunt deer in D5 is probably just put your camp on your back and backpack in, and then you're really gonna see some deer. You're gonna see some bucks. I mean, for sure. And I tell you, that's how I'd be hunting it if I could, and I can't. I physically can't get back in there. It's just the sins of my youth coming back on me, my back and my ankle. You know, it's just not safe. Especially how I hunt by myself, you know. But even if I don't get a buck this trip, I'm not going to stop coming up here. I'd like to put together a bear hunt for this November. See how the weather goes. And we'll see how that, well, maybe I could put that together with a couple, and try to call up a couple guys that I know that might be interested in coming up and killing some bears. It's midday right now. It's about 2 o'clock. And I don't want to go back to camp because I can't shoot a deer in camp. All right, we got rain on the last day. I'm probably leaving tomorrow.